Hello everyone, my name is Simon Rouge and I am a communications technician for air traffic control maintenance. I am also the safety site leader for the VPP program we have here for air ops aboard MCAS Cherry Point. VPP is the Volunteer Protection Program. It is a participatory process used to change our culture from a reactive mindset to one that is proactive and predictive in order to reduce mishaps and preserve our limited resources, both personnel and property. This is one of the tools used for the VPP program. This is the Shop Concern Board. This gives everyone an opportunity to be able to voice their concern if there is an unsafe condition.
So while working aloft, safety is priority, and to ensure that we stay safe as Marines and civilians working within our shop, we have moved from the wooden ladders to aluminum fiberglass, because although a wooden ladder may work and be safe, brand new, but over time it starts to decay, the joints start to loosen, and even being on this first step on a 3-foot ladder, it's extremely unstable compared to the ladder that's twice as tall, but much more stable. And you can see that you go up to here, and you're still completely stable. And the reason that we stopped at the rung right here is to ensure that we can still support ourselves, because the top portion of a ladder is not made as a step, it's made to hold any type of tools you need to use while working. And also, if you're lower on the ladder, and you still have that front support, so you can kind of lean forward to, in this case, we'd be checking wires to ensure that everything is plugged in to make sure all of our rivets and bolts are secured. But if you do go up past this rung right here, then you lose a lot of that support that you have on the lower rungs. Alright, so we're out here at the Dasher generator site. It's one of the backup power systems we have for our radar, so in case we lose main power, we don't lose complete power and we can still make sure we're using the radar. And out here, in this room, we use headphones because of how much noise the generator produces, and we don't want to damage our hearing while it's running.
What we're about to do right now, we're at the radar sites. We're trying to get from the radar site back to the base of the tower, which is where the shops are. So in order to do that, we have to communicate with the tower via handheld radio. And the reason we do that is so that we don't collide with any taxiing aircraft on the airfield. You don't want to go on the airfield in the blind and then you have an aircraft taxiing. You might collide with them. That's a big no-no. So right now he's about to call it for clearance.
Cherry ground, Cherry 6-8. Ground 6 is at the attack and access road, requesting clearance to the base of the tower.
6-8, proceed Echo across center mat to the base of the tower.
Roger, ground 6-8, proceeding Echo center mat to the base of the tower.
The only way you're allowed to go on active runway is if the tower gives you permission, and that's what the tower just gave us permission to go onto the active runway in order to get to the base of the tower. So that'll be our final destination, and you have to do that every time you want to travel on an active or inactive runway.
Next portion I'm going to cover is safety and eye protection. That plays a big part for us here at Cherry Point. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be fixing the circuit card. You got the guy that's some of our communication gear. Where this comes in vital is you're going to be using solder equipment, which is lead base, and you do not want to get this in your eye once you heat it up and it starts popping, because once you start heating something, it's going to pop, or it can stick to your skin, so there's a little safety in everywhere. But first off, you want to heat your equipment up, get the siren iron nice and warm and hot so you can run your connection. Next you want to do is get your safety glasses, preferably they Z87 Plus certified. And once you place them on, your equipment's heated up. So you can begin with your solder on your card. Another safety precaution we use here at Cherry Point is the electrostatic wrist strap. This is more for the safety of the equipment itself. So as human beings, we also discharge electrostatic energy. So basically we use this, we put it on our wrist and ensure it's tied to a proper grounding point, and make sure whatever equipment you're working on is completely off. So what we do is when we remove a component, such as a circuit card, we have components that are exposed to our hand. So if we accidentally touch the component and I have electrostatic buildup and I accidentally touch a component, I will not discharge that and possibly damage this circuit card, which is worth a lot of money. So as a safety precaution, we wear our straps and make sure we're properly grounded. And that's another thing we use here at Cherry Point.
One of the other hazards that we face working here is a lot of high voltage equipment, such as our indicator actually has 10,000 volts going through it. And whenever we work with a piece of equipment with high voltage or anything that we might hurt ourselves with, we have shorting probes, because there are components that will hold the charge even after it's turned off. The shorting probes consist of an insulated handle, the metallic tip, and the grounding cable. At the end of the grounding cable, you have a clip that you can attach to any one of the screws on the front of the indicator to ensure that the electricity passing from the probe goes straight to ground and disperses. The reason why the handle is separate from the probe is because the handle is made of a high resistance, non-conductive plastic, and as well as the cord is. And whenever you use it, you want to ensure that your hand is clear from wherever the electricity will be passing. Now, in case this does fail, we have other measurements to help protect the person working on the piece of gear. So after shorting out the system, we're told to check the system by tapping the electronic part with the back of our hand, since if our hand does contract and come away, our hand pulls like this and our muscles contract. If we grab like this, then you're more apt to, say, grab this and get stuck. Now if that did happen, we have the cane, and say I'm seizing up, my muscles contract, the cane loops around and will pull my hand free, relieving me of the electricity. If the cane fails, we have other measurements to protect someone, such as rope that gets tied around the person's arm or wrist on the limb that they're going to be touching the equipment with. And it's a rope that's often a knot that's used by hikers a lot. It doesn't slip, and the harder you pull on it, the tighter it gets. So if I'm stuck on it, he's safe from the electricity, but can still pull my hand free.
Everyone, my name is Saran Bazana Rouge, and I am a communications technician for air traffic control maintenance. I am also the safety site leader for the VPP program we have here at Air Ops. For look at me when you record, right? Oh, fuck. All right, my bad. VPP is the Volunteer Protection Program. It is participatory process. VPP is the Volunteer Protection Program. It is a participatory process that it's able to right here submit their name and date and location of the unsafe condition, and we can go ahead and work on the problem. Depends on the variety. No, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, my bad. This here is one of our tools. It's called the Shop Concern Board. It's one of the tools we use for the VPP program. All they need to do is write their name, unsafe condition, recognize the risk that it takes through our risk assessment matrix. This identifies the severity through the probability, estimating how bad on different events that can occur, different hazards that can occur through the workplace. The Shop Concern Board, having our passport. Yeah, go ahead. What we have here is the IH survey, which is the JHA. We create our own here via eSAMS. The eSAMS account is what we use to create our JHA. It sounded like I said that twice, didn't I?
Make sure it's properly grounded to a ground point, which it is. And what we do is, here at Cherry Point, I'm gonna be covering safety glasses. I'm sorry, this little bit right here won't hurt you, but it's good to hold your breath every once in a while, not breathing in dramatically. This is my first rodeo.
Thank you for watching our video.
Rod!